Hey everyone, we are Ups and Bros and welcome to Beer Talks.
Alright, so we've been doing this little thing lately where last week we spoke of a specific subject and actually we got cut off after 5 minutes because we could talk for hours about it.
And if you follow us a little bit, this is part 2.
This is exactly, this is gonna be part 2. I don't know if I'm gonna call it part 2 or not, we'll see. We'll see. It's the unofficial part 2. It's us continuing the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So you can basically binge watch it from now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing to do. I would do.
So we're talking about the contrast
yeah.
between the distribution of beer in Ontario, Quebec, and pretty much everywhere in Canada now.
Yeah, and also like we also mentioned a couple of cities in Europe and all that. And the fun thing about this is we do them in 5 minutes.
So
let's put the timer on.
Let's roll the timer. So 3, 2, 1,
go.
There
all
we
right,
go.
So we left off distribution, how it kind of sucks over here.
Exactly, and it's all about transport.
Yeah.
There's a lot of roads, a lot of railroads, lots of planes, pretty much everywhere in Canada, but it's a big country.
It is a very big country, yeah.
And it costs a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't invest that much in our railways. We, like, bent them down, and we invest a lot in our crappy roads instead.
Yeah.
And that costs a lot much, too.
It does. But I mean, in some cities, beer actually used to come by in trains. Some breweries actually base their whole like marketing around that because it's awesome. When you have a little town, a brewery, and the beer used to get there by train. Wow, it's amazing. But times have changed, and now it's all about roads.
Exactly.
It really is.
And it all brings up together the fact that there's boundaries, not like physical ones. It's all about the law.
Yeah.
And it creates something that less creativity around the transport of the beers and pretty much everywhere. So if you open up the boundaries, you'll get new businesses that are built around the concept of traveling the beer from, let's
point
say,
A to point
east
B,
to west. Like, exactly.
Because I mean, there's still some weird laws about like you can't go buy your beer in Quebec and then bring it in Ontario to another province.
Yeah.
Technically, it's illegal. Although recently someone got
in New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, yeah, he was doing that.
Yeah.
And he went to court. And he won the case.
He won the case.
He was allowed to do it, which I mean, maybe it's going to change a little bit the laws and the mentality around it as well. Because right now, also for transport, it's all old grocery transport companies that got the contracts for beer because they had the trucks with the fridges in it, and they knew a little bit how to handle the stuff, especially in Ontario, I'd say. But then it's not perfect. Because they don't go everywhere in Ontario, and you gotta like have a couple different companies and all that. I don't know how it is in Quebec in that case.
It's pretty much building around what we have. Since it's a little bit more
well, you've had beer
easier to move beer around. There's actual now businesses doing this. But, they're charging a lot more.
Yeah, they're charging premium for the service.
So there's a lot of breweries like Dominos Vobiscum in Baie-Saint-Paul, which are a little bit more bigger brewery. They take their trucks from Baie-Saint-Paul, fill it up to, let's say, Gatineau or Montreal, then all the way across the small towns. They stop by the breweries, climb in some beer, and like make their way to Montreal.
A little bit like BREWERS have been doing. They started their own kind of delivery company, I guess, for micro-brews, because I mean they know how to handle it. And they're slowly building the infrastructure and inviting new breweries to jump in and basically.
This concept really sprung a little bit because there's a lot of a couple of breweries putting themselves together to get like a co-op, working out together, having a transport beer only transportation company aside to distribute the beers from everywhere in Quebec. So it's always something that needs to be worked on. And when you think about beer, you don't always think, how did it get to where I'm pouring it, you know?
And especially as a brewer as well, I mean, you're brewing beer in your building, that's what you're doing. But you got to think, okay, I've got to get this beer to the people. I've got to drive it up to places where people are going to be able to buy it, and that's how you make your money off the beer you brewed. It's a very, very important part of it, and it's a part that right now, it's not up to point everywhere. You're still working on it, and because of the laws, you've got to jump through hoops to be able to do it. It's basically a lot of hoops. And then just to try to transport your beer from one province to the other, it's very difficult as well. I mean, again, I know we talk about a lot about BREWERS, but BREWERS have the same thing. They're going national.
Yeah.
They have to figure out, all right, how do we get our beer from Ontario to Manitoba and for it to still be fresh by the time people drink it? I mean, it's a lot to think about. And it's interesting because, I mean, that's opening doors for other breweries.
Yeah. And the knowledge they're building right away, it's just paving the way for other breweries to get involved in that system and getting their beer by staying independent, getting their beer all the way all across Canada, and breaking the boundaries.
Yeah,
I think it's all about that, breaking the boundaries. Stop making stupid laws that legislate every single province.
Yeah.
Stop that. Like, let's free up the beer.
Yeah,
everyone.
Let's free up the beer for everyone.
Beer freedom for everyone.
Well, again, that's another good subject we were talking about. Like, a lot of craft brewers end up selling to the bigger companies because they know that with that big company, they'll be able to have their distribution market open up very easily. BREWERS is not going that route at all, and they're actually opening up the opportunity for other craft brewers to jump in and to have the same opportunities of the big guys, but staying in the craft world, staying in the smaller breweries.
A lot of breweries that got different relationship with the bigger one started like this with a small distribution contract.
I believe we.
Whoa! I was on the roll with
you
this
want to
one.
finish the roll?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be on the next part of it. Yeah, sorry about that. Keep in mind that it's gonna be on the next week. No worries about that.
So cheers to you. If you like the video, subscribe
and tell us what you think about that subject.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really important for us. We had a lot of comments about it. So this week we drank the Saint of Circumstances, the citrus blonde ale, full of citra hops in it.
It's
really
delicious.
great.
That hop is one of my favorite ones, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's getting popular, right?
It is getting
really nice label.
popular,
Max has another label on his can. So
that's what I love about
Collective Arts.
Collective Arts. That's what I was going to say.
We already tried them.
Yeah, we have, and their arts and all that. Anyways, we'll talk about it in another video.
You can check it in the other video. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers. That's about it.